Hi everyone, Adarsh here. So today we're gonna see how we can create a unit test environment for the Angular JS application. So earlier example which I have created POCs where I have not used a Maven plugin for Jasmin unit test case environment, but this application I am using a Jasmin plugin, Maven Jasmin plugin, which what it does basically at the time of building your Maven code itself, it will execute Jasmin unit test cases along with the JUnit and Mockito test case, and then we will get sanity done at the time of building itself. So for this POC I have used Maven, I have used Angular JS. I have not used Node.js here because we are using a JT embedded container here, and then we are using Bootstrap, CSS, all these things. So let's jump into code first and see how it looks like. So this is a standard pom.xml where we have a group ID, artifact ID, version. We are having a packaging as a WAR because this is going to be a web application. Then name of the application, URL, organization tag, license tag. Then we have a developer tag here. Then properties, project name and all. Dependencies, we don't have anything, but just for the namesake I have kept it. And then in the build we have a final name, means it's a war file name, and then inside the plugin we have a standard Maven compiler plugin. Then we have a standard war file building plugin. So what it does basically, it just at the time of creating, it gonna exclude all the things inside the test and filter out all these properties, and it gonna add into the resources, and then it will find out the web resources, where are the web resources there, and source code encoding. Then we have a Maven, standard Maven resource plugin, so which gonna get the resources, test resources and all the stuff. Then we have a Jasmin plugin for this application, where so in this Jasmin plugin we have defined that where we have JS source directory, where we have JS test directory, and then we have imported all the files like console.js, jquery.js, jasmin and hyphen jquery.js, and then jasmin.console.reporter.js, and then angular.js, we have jquery.js, angular hyphen mock.js file. And after this we have, so basically all these things are pre-load sources, like before execution of thing, all these things will be loaded before execution of the test specs file here. So here we have a JT server, embedded JT container, and let's jump into the code, how code looks like. So we have a resources, we have a inside resources we have application.property if we want to specify something. Inside the web app we have a CSS directory where we have bootstrap CSS and my own custom my style.css, and then inside the JS folder we have a libs folder. Inside the lib we have angular.js, jquery.js, and then we have a custom application.js. In web.inf we have a web.xml where we have specified a welcome file list here, and our own index.html file. So let's start from application.js file. Basically in application.js file, what I have done, I just created a module with the help of angular.module function, and there is no dependency of any other module, so it's an empty thing, and I store the reference of this newly created module into the variable here. And by using this variable I am just creating a factory with the name myAppFactory, and then I'm just defining a function here. Inside the function I'm having a message variable. Basically this message variable is having a constant message, and this message I have wrapped this variable by this get message from factory, and again it's wrapped up by message factory value. So this factory, then after that I have created a, with the module reference variable I have created a service with the name of myAppService, and I am injecting myAppFactory inside this. And then inside this I have created a method which is get message from service, and inside this I am using the factory variable, and I am calling the message from message factory value method, and then I am returning this wrapping up inside the message service value. And then I have created a controller with the name of my app controller, and I'm declaring I'm just injecting a dollar scope as well as my service, and inside this controller I have created a function, and I am just logging on the console. And then inside this controller I'm saying that dollar scope dot application message, this will be a model object for UI. I'm just assigning the value, which I'm just calling a service method, my app service dot message service value, and whatever the response I am getting, I am just converting the case of that by using angular dot uppercase and assigning back to the application message. And in the UI index.html, what I have done, I have just binded a HTML complete HTML page with the my basic angular application root with this module, and I am importing a CSS file like mystyle.css, bootstrap.css, angular.js, application.js, and then I have binded a body here with my app controller, and there are a bunch of div tags and CSS bootstrap classes are defined, and inside this we have angular expression tag, inside which we have a application message model object which we have defined from the controller here itself. So let's start this application and see how it looks like. So here you can see my JT server started on port number 8080, so I'm gonna say localhost port number 8080, and I can see, so this is the headline, and this is a message which is coming from a factory intern called by a service, and then intern called by a controller, and then controller is assigning inside the dollar inside the model object which we have defined in the controller itself here, application message. So this is what the message we are getting. So this is a simple application. So now let's get into the Jasmin unit test environment and see how it looks like. So this is the functionality, and then inside the test we have a lib directory. Inside the lib we have angular directory. Inside angular we have angular mock.js. Inside Jasmin jQuery we have a Jasmin spec runner fix part.js, and then we have angular scenario.js, console.js, Jasmin async.js, Jasmin console.underscore report.js, jasmin.js, Jasmin html.js, jQuery, Jasmin jQuery.js, and jQuery.js we have here. All these are the dependent library, but all these are not completely used. Inside the resources we have test.property, but it is also not used. Then we have a style, we have a jasmin.css here, and then we have a inside the unit test we have a app.js and spec runner.html file here. So basically what happened, this spec runner.html will be loaded at the runtime, and it just load all the dependencies, and then it triggers the app.spec.js file, and it gonna load the application.js file here. So this will get the environment, and then report and all these things will be executed. So let's get into the app.spec.js file, where we have said that this is our test suite, and then we have a scope, application controller, my service, and my factory. So before execution, what we are doing, we are just injecting a root scope, we are injecting a controller, my app service, my factory, and then we are creating a new scope here. With the help of $controller we are getting a reference of the my app controller here, and then we are having a my app service, and then my app factory, all these things we have here. And then here comes the actual specs what we have written, JUnit test. So basically what we have done here, we are saying in the first thing, expect scope dot application message equal to welcome dot application. So basically in the code I have shown you that application.js, this is a message, but it is called in turn by service and then controller, and then it is converted into capital case. So that's why we are checking it with this. And for other, like this is for the controller, then we are saying that here we are logging it, and then we are saying app service dot, we are calling to be defined here, and then we are saying that this after calling this message to be, this is a response of that. And then same thing we are doing for the factory, we are logging and then we are saying to be defined, and then we are calling a factory method and we are checking whether this method call is equal to this or not. So how we can execute this? So in the Maven we have a command mvn clean install. So with the build itself, all the Jasmin test case gonna be executed, and sanity will be done at the build time itself, whether the JUnit code what we have written it's proper or not. So here in the log you can see that Jasmin specs executed, Angular Jasmin unit test case sample example, and then application controller unit test, application service unit test, and application factory unit test. Here you can see that 3 test cases, 3 specs are executed and 0 failure. So that's how we can just integrate Jasmin unit test Jasmin unit test environment with the Angular JS application by using Maven plugin. So I'm gonna save this code to my same repository, which is github.com Adarsh Kumar Singh 83 /AngularJS Angular_JS. So my previous application for Jasmin unit tests also I have kept in the same location, so you guys can pull it up and you can play around with this. So I hope this will help you a lot to understand all the configuration and the way how we can do that. So I guess I'm done with this video, and thanks for watching.